everyone, welcome back to chess. We're playing today as white against gutters, I guess. 15-10, as we have recently been doing. I don't know, recently? It's been weeks, right? I don't know. It seems like noticeably slower than 10-5. And that's great. That is working as intended. Let's try to get this bishop out to here. Support it like that, and we can castle someday. What? What the hell is that? Okay, you're trying to discourage this. Sure. That's another advantage of this move I hadn't thought of. It may... I wasn't really planning to, like, leap in there anytime soon, but I guess I do threaten it, don't I? That's sort of nice. Okay. Let's just get a knight out. No sense pushing the pawn just yet. Maybe I'll want to do this. Doesn't look like it. Well, I don't know. It's defended twice, attacked twice. I could push all the way if I wanted to. They would kind of have to take, I think. Because otherwise I'm attacking this and it's defended only once. But they could prep a move like this. They wouldn't have to take. There's lots of ways they could add a defender. My bishop is undefended. So are all the rooks. But I think that's it, right? Yep. Opponent's thinking here, which is a little surprised. This has got to be like the most common first four moves or something close to it. I guess castling could be up there. Okay. So now... I mean, is this good? If here... oops. Here takes, we're equal on material. We've traded these pawns, and I've got a queen in the center. Pawns and knights. I don't really want my queen in the center, I don't think. Let's just do a quiet castle and postpone the decision of what to do with this pawn. I feel like this is a pretty like normal and solid way to develop, but for some reason it feels like a lot of my games I've been doing stuff that's way weirder than this. Okay. So there's that knight. He's gone to the edge. And I mean, there's kind of a, I don't know. He wants to trade, right? And if I defend it, then he gets that trade. Would I prefer to run away? I guess there are things like check, check, picking up two pawns and pulling the king forward in exchange for a piece. Meanwhile, their knight is sidelined. Check, check, probably king here. It should be interesting. This f-pawn, yeah, I'm going to give this a try. They invested some tempo in chasing away my bishop, and I don't want to reward them by just, like, going back. Maybe it's right, but I feel like this should be pretty strong attacking-wise. Like, you did ask for this. And I can, like, knight here with check, and if they run back, I can land a knight here? Which has got to be doing something insanely great. Right? Like, isn't this good? It gets tempo against the rook, pretty much forces rook here, which is not a move they want to make. Then we get tempo against this knight if we want it. Or I could just hang out for a minute and try to develop one of these diagonal moving pieces into the area. Like, queen and knight really love to be friends. Maybe it would be something like here. I don't know. This queen and knight can coordinate here if I chase away this knight, which I could, but there's a queen and king defending there. I don't know. I think this just has to be good. And then could try bringing in this knight, but just here, right? So I think I'm willing to invest more in this pawn. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have launched the F pawn. Trying to get a pawn supported here to anchor the knight in. But I like making them put all their pieces on the back rank again. I could develop a rook and then push this again. I don't think I want to do that. But now I guess is my chance to bring another knight over. I'm not sure where I would put him, though. It's sort of hard to place him anywhere good without taking a bit of a detour. Like, even, I don't know, there just isn't anywhere good for another knight. Here. I want a knight here. Maybe. Like, that would do it. But, okay, let's just develop something now. Let's actually just put the bishop here. It's sort of x-raying this knight, and then I could move with tempo. And get here, by the way, which is not a square yet, I guess, but they do weaken it a bit. I guess the knight is defended by the queen, so maybe this isn't so exciting. I don't know, should have just launched the f-pawn. Yeah, this bishop move kind of sucked. It's sort of violating principles to create this pawn storm while I haven't developed this queen, and a minute ago hadn't developed the bishop. But I still think, like, getting some pawns in here seems really great. Yeah, see, now I'm being punished for developing my bishop one step. Okay, well, you know what? You can have it. Are you really gonna grab this pawn? I think that's maybe, like, the wrong priorities to have. I think my attack... I don't know. I hope my attack is working because I'm committing a lot to it. But black just has so many pieces that aren't doing anything. And I have pieces in his house. If you take here, I'm pretty happy to get a chance to play like queen either g4 or h5. I'm not sure which. And if takes here, I'm also, I think, pretty happy with queen takes bishop. I should have noticed that this pawn was hanging, but I'm actually like totally fine leaving it. I'm just mad about this move. Didn't really do anything, and it made this knight happy. I don't think I want to get my pawn all the way here because it's kind of... I don't know. Maybe I do. They really don't want to take with this pawn. It's the last thing keeping their king safe. I think for that reason I want my queen here rather than here. Because then if this pawn goes away, I'll have discoveries with the knight. Mm-hmm. What if I push past? Just drops the pawn. Don't do that. They don't want to take, though. I get this, which is like checkmate, practically, so... Ah, their bishop guards this square now, though. Suppose I put my queen here. Then I'm just dropping the bishop for nothing, which is probably not good. Let's chase the knight away first. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to do that. They're going to trade the knight. Fine, I guess. Hmm. That's an excitingly placed bishop, huh? How do I attack him? Here doesn't work. The queen's guarding it. So it would have to be like this. Okay. I'm just dropping the knight. Oh, that's so bad. He's felt so secure all game. I just like forgot to even pay attention to whether he was really okay. I get this, but it's really not worth it. I should just like, I'm not paying enough attention to undefended pieces. I mean, this is still something, though, I think. But it would be a lot better if there were a knight here. Yeah, the knight's actually trapped. I should have just traded it for the bishop. Since I can't retreat it anymore. I maybe should have retreated it more while I could actually get away. Okay. Oh. Well, now you can't take the knight anymore. Because my bishop is, or my rook is unveiled. Checkmate. No, it doesn't work! I'm so dumb! It's not guarding this anymore. Ah. Okay, but I can... Ah. Okay, let's try this again. Just get another knight here. I assume the bishop like retreats to somewhere where it can guard the square. But I have like this. Ugh. I was getting the knight will no longer guard here once it's been captured. I wonder if just like check is maybe what I should have been doing all along. Well, if bishop here, I had this, so that doesn't really work, does it? Yeah, I really, at this point, should have traded the knight in. I just, like, noticed this pin and was like, oh, it's fine. But it wasn't. Trade the knight, and then, I don't know, takes here, but I get this rook takes. I don't know. I think the bishop wants to go to one of these two squares, but it doesn't really, I don't know, want to is kind of a strong word. I guess you're, like, fairly safe here because you can back up to there, right? And you're still watching this. But then I get this. So maybe you want to try this. Allowing a knight discovery, but preventing me from jumping into here. So, okay. Let's just double check. Suppose I let them take my knight again. I don't, like, win the game instantly, do I? Here. Check. King must take. Check. King kind of has to run. And then I think things are fine. King doesn't even really have to run. Bishop could block. Yeah, that doesn't work. What about this? They can just take it, obviously. But it makes him get out of the way and not guard this square anymore, I think. If here, I follow up with the queen. Or maybe to here instead? I think this is a cool idea. I'm pretty committed to the attack at this point. I don't know. So I don't think I care that much about this pawn or about my king being checkable here. Okay, I get this square back. Threatening mate in one. Gotta do something. What's it gonna be? Knight block? Takes, maybe? Threatening this, which is kind of cool. If knight blocks, honestly, maybe just rook takes. No, because there's queen here. And pawn, I think knight block is pretty good. I don't know, I can pile up. It seems like almost the only move, honestly. Ah, well. Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah, that blocks in a different way. There's a ton of defenders here now. That's pretty cool. I didn't see that. So there's this, which doubles up, but that's not enough to break through at the moment. However, it also... Well, I guess you know what? Here might also have worked because it adds a defender, but this adds 2. So that's pretty cool. This actually doesn't do all that much. It just lets them play bishop here, which... Well, I guess that doesn't help. Yeah, I think I want... I maybe should have like tried to double up before doing this, but I feel like I was on... I really needed to be attacking with every move, practically. Once I sacrificed so much material. I don't know. I sacrificed the bishop for the 2 pawns on purpose, and then I dropped the knight, so it's sort of charitable to call that a sacrifice. If I hadn't dropped the knight on purpose, if I hadn't accidentally dropped the knight, I think I'd be, like, a lot happier here, obviously. The problem is I need several turns to get one more attacker on that square, and they can get another defender like this, for example. But that drops the bishop, so they do have to at least move the bishop first. Is there some like other avenue of attack over here? I don't think so. I basically just got the knight and these major pieces. I need to pile them all up on this file. The question is what I'm going to do once they put a knight here. Yeah. Well, okay, pick up the bishop would be a good start. And attacks the knight, so you kind of have to leave. What? Oh, my queen is pinned. That's kind of cool. I can defend her, obviously, or I could trade her, but then, ugh, right? I think the only way to defend the queen would be here, because this just invites knight takes. And what if here check? I don't know. King here. I'm going to try to hang on to the queen, or like hang on to this pawn being in the rook's way. But now I guess I haven't unpinned the queen, and they can just pile up on it like so, and I lose the game, right? You know. Well, I don't lose the game. I can trade. But this like idea of defending the queen doesn't actually work because of this move. Well, I could back up. I don't have to let the queen, let the pawn out. Queen here is a cool move. Or rather, not defending the bishop so as to draw this in was a cool move. Mm-hmm. But what does she do next? Aren't I pretty much fine everywhere once I go in the corner? There are no checks. And this is a useful and exciting threat, I think. What is the threat here? I'm not sure. Do I have something with this? I don't think so. Well, maybe. Check, check. Sorry, check takes. Now, check. Does that accomplish anything? I don't think it does. But the problem is, I guess my queen is kind of tied down now. What if I take with knight first? It's not check, but it is pretty forcing. And assuming this, then I can bring a rook in and follow up with the queen? Or this rook? So what if they ignore this attack? Do they have some checkmate against me right away? I don't think so. They're threatening something like knight here? But even that isn't checkmate. This rook is doing an okay job. Yeah, let's try this. I just don't think that queen and knight are enough to take apart my king when all the major pieces are down here. And if they decide not to capture, or I don't know, like if what if they try this? So I put knight here to challenge this guy. If they try this check, okay, the queens come off, and they win a pawn. You know, great. But they still have a rook that's not playing. This doesn't really work. because they just take it. Here, there are once again no follow-up checks, I think. The queen is guarding this and this. There's that, but I would happily pick it up. Okay, the queen's come off. And I have the only open file, and their rook is kind of shut off. But, I mean, my pawns are not so healthy, and they're up material. I have to figure out how to do something about this knight, which looks basically impossible, actually. They have time to develop the rook. Maybe like this, actually. Yeah, I think that's the way forward. Where are you headed? These pawns are pretty strong, though. And now that there are two open files, it's a lot harder for this rook to contribute. Because I can be on the other one. I can defend the pawn, but then my rook is pretty passive. I can push the pawn, but then the king gets here, and it's pretty hopeless, I think. Well, no. What if king blockades? Then I have this. Yeah, where does the king go after this? Here? Whoops. Here. But then I bring the rook up and start pushing. Yeah, okay. Oh, this doesn't work because... Right. But now I get behind the passer eventually? Oh, this is nasty. I don't... Hang on. I need to get behind this guy. They can't take here. Because then I push. I want to activate my king, but there's like more pressing issues. Just double check I can't actually do this. Takes... Here, and I'm not in time. Also, there's this rook who can stop me at any moment. So I don't think I need to defend this pawn. If I can get behind this one. So let's... We could attack the knight and gain some tempo that way. But then I think they just go here, right? Oh, this is nasty. I think I'm dead. Well, I don't know. I mean... What if I just get to the back rank to stop this rook? But then they can contribute like this. It's like here takes. Now push. That would be fine, actually. So what if, though, here, threatening this pawn? Well, you're not really threatening it yet. Because it's protected. I don't want to get in front of the pawn. I want to get behind it. But the problem is there's this knight. So I was thinking something like this. Okay, let's try this. Actually, they can take this, can't they? Takes, push. Well, no, I'm attacking the knight. And I think that's a good enough thing for me to achieve. It's like they can get here in time to stop the pawn if their next move is to capture here. But they have to sack the knight if they want to do that immediately. Oh, really? Here. I think I have to get my king over. I don't want to step over here prematurely because there's like this. I'm clearly lost. I just don't know what. Well, I don't know. Am I lost? I have these connected passers. So here, push. Well, here, suppose this. Push. They can just barricade. Right. And then win. So I think I need my king over. That drops this pawn, which might be bad. Maybe I should have just gone here to begin with. I thought I could handle losing this pawn, and maybe I can. I think so, because... Don't I just push? I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, I can hang on to this now. Oh, whoops. Now I just lose the rook, or well, we trade. And then everything is over. Their knight just eventually scoops everything up. Knight here, probably. I don't know, maybe here for this. This is also fine. Threatens that. I'm so dead. They should probably just push this. Well, that doesn't really work, does it? I have this huge disadvantage, I think. Okay, where are you going? Guarding this? Ah, I see. Yes, that works. All right, I'll just give up here. I went in for that attack in the beginning, and I think it was, I don't know, maybe not something the computer is going to like, the bishop sack. But I think the much bigger mistake was dropping the knight. Oh no. Maiden one. Oh no. Alright, show me that one first, I guess. Queen here. Oh, the knight is guarding that square. I just saw this free bishop and I took it. Yeah. And I was so focused on like having to get to the same rank as the king. But I don't have to take away this square. I just have to be attacking the king. Right. So this is something where it would be useful to like, you know, when you are thinking about an attack on the king, ask yourself what squares the king currently can move to. Right now, the answer is no squares. So all we have to do is plant the queen here, and then we win. Right? She's supported by the rook. Okay, let's look at the rest of it. Actually, hang on. This is interesting. What did it think of the bishop sack? It does say that D4 is good. And I kept not doing it. I know, fight for the center, but I didn't think I wanted my queen out, but I probably should have with a bishop here, and the queen here would be pretty powerful. And this pawn is not easily pushed, so the queen can't be kicked so easily. Okay, good point. Oh, yes. You can take the pawn and defend the bishop. You don't have to move, and then you're really attacking here. Wow. So it thinks this was bad. And then, yeah, rook here was bad. Why? It thinks just, like, ignore this problem. And I can take the rook if I want, but what's the damage at this point? I'm down a bishop and a knight, but up a rook and 2 pawns? It seems okay to me. Huh. It says I'm behind instead of ahead, though. Okay, so, yeah. This would have been better. Look for undefended pieces. Notice this is one. Is there some tactic involving it? Yes, just take it and defend the bishop. Okay, so we did that. I still don't really understand why this is such a bad move. Just like the rook doesn't matter, don't waste time on it? I don't know. Work more on challenging the knight. So this pawn push was good. And I should have been working on this idea sooner. I was like, okay, we've got something. Let's start pushing pawns to attack it. But actually, we don't need them. We just need a queen. But I don't know, like they can do various things if I play queen there, right? They can block. What exactly is the big idea here? Oh, but the blocking square is protected by my pawn. I see. So here... Oh. What an idea, huh? Check. And we're attacking the knight, but before we take it, we need to trade off this knight. Yeah. So if we just scoop this up, they grab my knight. If I do this, they can either take the knight, or they can trade queens. Oh, but then I guess they do get my knight. But, oh, I get this? Alright. So, but the bigger thing is that, like, this is a cool idea that I should have gone for sooner, and I didn't see it yet. I was just like, having a knight here is good, but I didn't really see what to do with it. And it keeps screaming at me, just take the bishop. Draw the king out. And indeed, this move sucked. Just as I soon realized. And it says, just go back. And this is bad, huh? My bishop is so important. It also takes my queen off of this, I guess. Yeah, and I was losing in this middle game. But this is some big tactic, huh? Right, right, right. This was where I said, oh, I can just recapture. But if I do this, it actually works. I just pick up a bishop, right? Boop, boop. Well, not a bishop, but a pawn, and I pin the bishop, and then attack it with a pawn. Yeah. And right, I imagined we go here. Is there some like button for like go back to real life? I hate like hitting back until I'm like, when exactly did real life happen? Yeah, so I missed this. It's actually saying that rook here would be pretty okay. Like, considering that a minute ago I was way down, I thought knight here was pretty good. Because it discovered attackers here. But oh no, sack with rook. The only defender currently is the queen, and I get this. A bishop, a queen, and a rook for a knight and a rook. Okay. But then they dropped mate and won. Mm-hmm. And then once later on, I had another opportunity. It does like knight takes. Why is queen trade good? I thought queen trade was bad. Oh, because after they retake, my knight is not under attack. Right? And I can scoop up the rook. They get this. But we're like actually ahead in material. Oh man, so many mistakes here. That's what happens when you're a beginner, but it feels bad. Well, I tried a different style game this time, more attacking, and I didn't really convert it. Like, I don't know. Style doesn't matter when you just drop pieces all the time, right? Oh well. I think that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.